Did you ever imagine retirement as a never-ending vacation? A time when every day feels like a Saturday. Filled with leisure and absolute freedom, many of us dream of that idyllic picture. That moment when the alarm clock becomes a distant memory and our days stretch out before us. Open and unburdened. We spend decades working, saving, and meticulously planning for that golden age. Envisioning quiet mornings with coffee on the porch, spontaneous road trips, and endless time for hobbies. But what if I told you that for many, the reality of retirement hits differently, sometimes even brutally? What if the very freedom you craved brings with it a surprising set of challenges that no one really talks about? It can be a jarring shift, a profound adjustment that catches even the most prepared off guard, leaving them feeling adrift or, worse, unexpectedly unfulfilled. This isn't about scaring you. It's about empowering you with foresight. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 brutal truths about retirement that most people never warn you about, helping you navigate this new chapter with your eyes wide open. And trust me, watching to the end will give you something truly surprising to consider about your own future. Let's start with the first profound shift many retirees encounter, one that often catches them completely by surprise: the sudden loss of identity and purpose. For decades, our work wasn't just a way to earn a living. It was often the core of who we were. Think about it when you met someone new. One of the first questions almost always revolved around what you did for a living. Your profession gave you a title, a structure for your day, a community of colleagues, and a clear sense of contribution. It shaped your routines, your conversations, and often your self-worth. When that alarm clock stops ringing for work, and the office door closes for the last time, that definition of self, built over a lifetime, can simply vanish. The daily meetings, the projects, the challenges, the sense of being an indispensable part of something larger, all gone. This isn't just about missing the paycheck. It's about a deeper, existential void. Many people find themselves waking up with no agenda, no immediate demands, and a startling lack of direction. They might feel a profound sense of loss, a quiet grief for the person they used to be. The transition from busy professional to retired individual can feel like shedding an old skin without having a new one ready. You might find yourself asking, "Who am I now, if not my job?" This is a powerful, often unspoken truth. The end of your career can feel like the end of a core part of your identity. But here's the encouraging part: while the initial shock can be disorienting, it also presents an incredible opportunity for rediscovery. The key is to actively seek out new sources of purpose and meaning, before or very early into retirement. This isn't about replacing your old job with another, but about exploring passions that perhaps you never had time for, or discovering entirely new interests. Consider volunteering your time and skills to a cause you care about. If you were an accountant, could you help a local charity manage their books? If you were a teacher, could you tutor children after school or help adults learn to read? This provides structure, social interaction, and that crucial sense of contributing something valuable. Another powerful avenue is learning something new. Have you always wanted to learn to paint, play a musical instrument, or speak a new language? Local community colleges, online courses, and community centers offer a wealth of opportunities. These activities not only stimulate your mind, but also introduce you to new communities and possibilities. Even something as simple as taking up a new daily routine, like a fitness class or a gardening project, can provide that much-needed structure and a sense of accomplishment. The goal is to consciously build a new identity, one that is not defined by what you did, but by who you are becoming and what truly brings you joy and meaning in this next chapter. Closely related to the loss of identity is the second brutal truth: the unexpected onset of social isolation. Throughout our working lives, our social circles are often intrinsically linked to our careers. Our colleagues become our friends. Our daily interactions at work fulfill a significant portion of our social needs. and even our clients or customers provide routine human connection. Then, suddenly, retirement severs many of these ties. The office camaraderie, the water cooler chats, the lunch breaks with colleagues, even the routine greetings with the barista on your way to work, all disappear. For some, especially those who lived alone or whose social life revolved almost exclusively around their profession, this can lead to a profound sense of loneliness and isolation. Your spouse might still be working, or your children might be grown and living far away, leaving you with long stretches of empty time. The silence in your home can become deafening, and the days can start to feel incredibly long when you have no one to share them with. It's a stark contrast to the busy, interconnected life you once led. And it's a truth that many retirees struggle with in silence, feeling ashamed to admit they miss the daily hustle and bustle. The irony is that the freedom from work can inadvertently lead to a freedom from social engagement, leaving you feeling adrift from the world. So, how do we combat this very real and painful truth? The antidote to social isolation in retirement is proactive, intentional social engagement. This isn't something that just happens. It requires effort and initiative. Start by identifying the types of social interaction you truly enjoy. Do you thrive in structured group settings? Or do you prefer one-on-one connections if you enjoy group activities? Look for local clubs and organizations that align with your interests. This could be a book club, a hiking group, a crafting circle, a bridge club, or even a community volunteer group. Many communities have senior centers that offer a wide array of activities, from exercise classes to social gatherings and day trips. These are fantastic places to meet like-minded individuals who are also looking to connect. Don't underestimate the power of rekindling old friendships or strengthening family ties. Reach out to friends you've lost touch with. Invite them for coffee or a walk, or plan regular get-togethers. Make a conscious effort to schedule recurring social events, whether it's a weekly lunch with a friend, a monthly family dinner, or a regular game night. Even small daily interactions, like chatting with your neighbors or striking up a conversation with someone at the grocery store, can make a difference. The important thing is to step outside your comfort zone and be open to new connections. Remember, building a rich social life in retirement is an ongoing project, just like any other important aspect of your life, and it's one that will profoundly impact your well-being. Now that we've discussed the importance of finding new purpose and combating social isolation, let's move on to the often overlooked financial realities that can catch retirees off guard. The third brutal truth about retirement that often goes unaddressed is the brutal reality of financial miscalculations and unexpected costs. You've likely spent years, maybe even decades, diligently saving and planning for retirement, meticulously calculating your investments and expenses. You might have consulted financial advisors, read countless articles, and felt confident in your financial readiness. However, what many people fail to account for are the subtle yet significant shifts in spending patterns and the emergence of unexpected costs that can quickly derail even the best-laid plans. It's not just about inflation eroding purchasing power, though that's certainly a factor. It's about the hidden expenses that become more prominent in retirement. For instance, healthcare costs often surge as we age, even with Medicare. Co-pays, deductibles, prescription drugs, and long-term care needs can become a massive drain on your savings. Many people underestimate the sheer volume and expense of medical visits and treatments that become necessary. Beyond healthcare, there's the increased cost of home maintenance when you're home more often, noticing every leaky faucet or creaky floorboard, or when your appliances decide to give up the ghost after years of service. Utilities can go up because you're home all day. Travel, which often feels like the reward of retirement, can quickly become more expensive than anticipated, especially if you're doing it more frequently. There's also the psychological shift without a regular paycheck coming in. Drawing from savings can feel emotionally unsettling, even if it's part of the plan. This can lead to anxiety and a constant worry about outliving your money, even when the numbers suggest you're fine. It's a pervasive undercurrent of stress that can silently undermine the joy of your newfound freedom. To navigate this financial minefield, a proactive and flexible approach is essential. First, revisit your budget with a fine-tooth comb. But this time, anticipate the new expenses. Research average out-of-pocket healthcare costs for your age group, factoring in potential long-term care insurance. Create a separate emergency fund specifically for home repairs and unexpected large expenses. Don't just look at what you've spent in the past. Consider how your lifestyle changes in retirement might impact your spending. Are you dining out more, driving more or less? Are you pursuing expensive hobbies? Be brutally honest with yourself about where your money is going. Secondly, consider flexible income streams, even if small. This doesn't mean returning to a full-time job unless you want to. It could be a part-time consulting gig in your old field, teaching a class, pet sitting, or monetizing a hobby. Even a few $100s a month can significantly ease the pressure on your savings and provide a sense of control and contribution. Thirdly, be willing to adjust your plans. The stock market will fluctuate, inflation will shift, and life will throw curveballs. Regularly review your investments and spending, and be prepared to make adjustments to your lifestyle or investment strategy as needed. Perhaps that lavish international trip needs to be a domestic one this year, or you might find joy in less expensive local activities. The goal is not just to have enough money, but to cultivate a mindset of financial resilience and adaptability, ensuring that your golden years are truly golden, not just golden-plated. Now, let's talk about the fourth brutal truth, one that impacts the very foundation of your daily life once you're both home all the time: the profound shift in your spouse or partner dynamic. For years, perhaps even decades, your relationship with your partner has likely operated on a certain rhythm. You both went off to work, came home in the evenings, spent weekends together, and had your own separate spaces, routines, and colleagues. You had stories to share from your day, and time apart often made the time together more cherished. Then, retirement hits, and suddenly, you're both home, all the time. This constant proximity, while seemingly ideal for companionship, can become an unexpected source of friction. The comfortable routines you built around separate schedules suddenly evaporate. Your partner might have developed a morning routine they cherish, and you might inadvertently disrupt it. You might have different expectations for how chores should be handled, how much quiet time is needed, or how many activities you should do together versus independently. What was once my space or my time can feel encroached upon. Annoying habits that were tolerable for a few hours a day can become magnified when they're present all day long. This can lead to increased arguments, feelings of resentment, and a general tension that undermines the very closeness you both hope to enjoy. It's not a lack of love, but a fundamental rebalancing of daily life and expectations that neither of you might have anticipated, and it requires conscious effort to navigate. The key to successfully navigating this shift in your partner dynamic is open communication, mutual respect for individual space, and a conscious effort to build new, shared routines while preserving individual autonomy. Start by having an honest conversation, perhaps even before retirement, about your individual expectations for this new phase. What does each of you envision your days looking like? How much time do you want to spend together? And how much time do you need for individual pursuits? It's crucial to establish physical and psychological boundaries. This might mean designating certain areas of the house as quiet zones or personal activity zones during specific hours. Perhaps one of you enjoys woodworking in the garage, while the other prefers reading in the study. Respecting these individual needs for space and quiet is paramount. Next, actively create new shared activities that you both enjoy. This could be cooking new recipes together, going for daily walks, tackling a joint home project, or discovering a new shared hobby like gardening or volunteering. These shared experiences will build new bonds and provide positive common ground. Equally important is maintaining individual interests and friendships. Encourage each other to pursue separate activities, whether it's a golf game, a book club, or coffee with friends. This provides a healthy break, new experiences to share, and prevents either person from feeling solely responsible for the other's entertainment. Remember, retirement is a new chapter for your relationship, requiring a new script. It's about consciously cultivating a balance between togetherness and individuality, ensuring that the dream of companionship doesn't turn into a burden. Next, we'll dive into how retirement illuminates a stark reality about our health that many simply aren't prepared for. The fifth brutal truth, and one that often becomes glaringly apparent in retirement, is the escalation of health challenges. Throughout our working lives, we often push through aches, pains, and minor health concerns, telling ourselves we'll address them when we have more time. Retirement arrives, and suddenly, that more time is here. But often, so are the more persistent and sometimes debilitating health issues we put off or simply didn't fully anticipate. The body simply doesn't bounce back as quickly as it used to. What might have been an occasional twinge in your knee can become chronic arthritis that limits your mobility. Vision and hearing might deteriorate more rapidly than expected. The risk of chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, or memory issues increases. Suddenly, those plans for hiking national parks or touring European cities might feel out of reach, or require significant adaptations due to physical limitations. The mental impact of these changes can be profound, leading to frustration, sadness, and even depression as you grapple with a body that isn't as capable as it once was. You might find yourself spending more time at doctor's appointments, managing medications, and dealing with the fatigue that comes with various health conditions. This truth can be particularly brutal because it directly impacts your ability to enjoy the very freedom and activities you saved for, forcing a reevaluation of dreams and expectations. The proactive approach to this truth is not to simply accept decline, but to embrace a holistic strategy for health management and adaptation. First, prioritize preventative care and regular checkups. Don't wait for a problem to become severe. Address minor issues promptly. Work closely with your doctors to manage existing conditions and stay ahead of potential ones. Secondly, focus on lifestyle choices that support your health. This includes regular physical activity, adapted to your current capabilities. If you can't hike mountains, can you walk daily, swim, cycle, or take a gentle yoga class? Movement is crucial for both physical and mental well-being. A balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins is more important than ever. Hydration, adequate sleep, and stress management techniques like meditation or mindfulness also play a vital role. Thirdly, be flexible and adaptable with your dreams. If a physically demanding trip is no longer feasible, explore alternatives. Perhaps a cruise, a scenic train journey, or a cultural trip that involves less walking. The goal isn't to abandon your dreams, but to reimagine them to fit your current reality. Don't be afraid to utilize assistive devices if needed. They are tools that enable independence, not symbols of defeat. Staying mentally engaged through learning or social interaction also contributes significantly to overall health and resilience. This brutal truth demands that we become our own best health advocates, actively working to maintain vitality and embracing the wisdom of adapting our lives to support our well-being. Finally, we arrive at the sixth brutal truth. Perhaps the most surprising of all, the retirement dream isn't always a dream. Sometimes, it's just boredom or a subtle sense of emptiness. We're fed this idyllic vision of endless leisure, spontaneous adventures, and finally, having all the time in the world for ourselves. And while that initial honeymoon phase of relaxation and freedom is absolutely wonderful, for many, the novelty wears off. The endless Saturdays can start to feel like endless Mondays, without the structure of work, the challenge of problem solving, or the consistent social interaction of a workplace. Days can become monotonous. Sleeping in every day, watching more television, or simply being can quickly lose its luster. The initial excitement of not having to do anything can transform into a quiet anxiety about having nothing to do that feels truly meaningful. You might find yourself missing the intellectual stimulation, the sense of accomplishment, or even the small daily pressures that once drove you. The absence of obligation can paradoxically lead to a lack of motivation, and without a compelling reason to get up and engage with the world. The days can start to blur into one another. This isn't a universal experience, but it's far more common than people admit, and it can be a deeply unsettling truth for those who find themselves experiencing it, leading to a sense of unfulfillment in what was supposed to be their happiest chapter. The antidote to this potentially brutal truth lies in actively creating structure, seeking out new challenges, and cultivating a sense of continuous growth and engagement. This means approaching retirement not as an ending, but as a new beginning, a blank canvas for self-actualization. First, create a new routine, even if it's a loose one. This could involve scheduling regular exercise, dedicating time to a hobby, volunteering on specific days, or even just setting a consistent wake-up time. A sense of rhythm and predictability can be incredibly grounding. Secondly, consciously seek out activities that challenge you intellectually or creatively. This is where learning a new skill, delving into a complex subject, or pursuing a creative project like writing or painting truly shines. The brain thrives on new stimuli, and these challenges provide a sense of purpose and accomplishment that can replace the professional challenges of your working life. Thirdly, prioritize contributing to something larger than yourself. This doesn't have to be formal volunteering. It could be mentoring younger individuals, sharing your expertise with community groups, or even just being an active, supportive presence for your family and friends. The act of giving back provides immense satisfaction and a powerful sense of meaning. Finally, remember that your personal growth journey doesn't end with retirement. This is a unique period to explore facets of yourself you never had time for. It's an opportunity to become a more well-rounded, compassionate, and engaged individual. Embrace curiosity, maintain an open mind, and continuously seek out experiences that ignite your spirit. So, there you have it, 6 truths about retirement that might just reshape how you view this next chapter. We've talked about the surprising loss of identity and purpose, the silent onset of social isolation, the hidden financial hurdles that can catch you off guard, the delicate dance of changing spouse dynamics, the undeniable escalation of health challenges, and that often unspoken truth of boredom when the dream isn't quite as idyllic as imagined. It's a lot to take in, isn't it? But here's the reassuring part. Knowing these truths isn't about generating fear. It's about empowering you. It's about giving you the foresight and the tools to proactively prepare for and navigate these challenges with grace and confidence. Remember, small shifts in perspective and consistent, intentional actions can make a monumental difference in creating a retirement that is truly rich, fulfilling, and joyful. This isn't just about avoiding pitfalls. It's about building a future where you thrive. It's about being an active participant in designing the life you want, rather than simply letting retirement happen to you. Your golden years are an incredible opportunity for growth, discovery, and deeper connections. But like any significant life transition, they require thought, planning, and a willingness to adapt. Don't let these truths discourage you. Let them inspire you to take charge. Imagine approaching retirement with a clear understanding of these realities, ready to embrace the journey with a renewed sense of purpose and preparedness. That's the kind of retirement that truly shines. I'd love to hear from you. Have you experienced any of these truths in your own retirement journey? Or are you planning for them now? What's one piece of advice you'd offer to someone approaching retirement? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your wisdom could be invaluable to someone else. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps our channel reach more people who could benefit from this kind of honest conversation. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more practical insights and empowering content designed to help you live your best life at every age. Thank you for spending this time with me. Live your best life at every age.